there's one vegetable that's hard to beat. It's this one. It's silverbeet, otherwise known as sea kale or Swiss chard, and sometimes incorrectly as spinach, which it's not. But silverbeet can be used just like spinach, as it is in the Greek pie Spanakopita. Now, when Spanakopita is good, it's very, very good, but it can be served too greasy and generally lacking in texture. So today in Consuming Passions, the perfect Greek spinach pie using silverbeet. The key component is the beet, and it's quite easily prepared by washing, draining well, and then I strip the leaves from the stalks before cutting into smallish strips. When buying spinach or silverbeet, look for firm green leaves and substance. You don't want anything that's too limp. Now, did you know that silverbeet is a most nutritious vegetable? It's high in iron, which makes it good for the blood, as well as vitamins A and C. So all in all, it's a pretty valuable sort of ingredient. Now, once done, it's into a large bowl, and I add some more top ingredients. A finely chopped onion, or you could use chopped spring onions. Some grated nutmeg, and I try to use it freshly grated. Now I crumble in some low-fat cheese, cottage cheese or ricotta. When using ricotta, it's a good idea to make sure it's well drained, because too much moisture is the death of a spinach or beet pie. I also add some Greek feta. Actually, this isn't Greek, it's Australian feta, and it's quite low in salt, which is a good idea because the silverbeet itself is quite high in sodium, the basis of salt. A couple of eggs are used to bind the mixture, and I put in some pine nuts, which I've just lightly toasted in a pan. They give a beautiful flavour as well as some crunchiness. If you can't get pine nuts, they're often scarce and can be very expensive. You could substitute with pecan nuts or walnuts finely chopped. Finally, a grinding of black pepper, and this is all thoroughly stirred up. Now comes the fun part, the assembly of the beet pie. I use filo pastry, as do the Greeks, and it's a very easy pastry to use. You just have to take a few precautions. It comes in very thin sheets, and left exposed to the air will dry out and crumble to a dust, as in fact you can see here. The best way to keep the sheets moist is to lay them on a damp but not wet tea towel. 4 or 5 sheets of pastry will do. I sprinkle a few chopped nuts also to keep the leaves apart. Now this sheet is turned over to rest on the one underneath, and I repeat the process with the olive oil and the nuts. I just brush the smallest amount of good extra virgin olive oil across the sheet to keep it from being glued to the next one. Melted butter is traditionally used for this, but I prefer oil because it reduces the amount of saturated fat. And so on till all the sheets are done. Working as quickly as possible, I now put the mixture onto the leading edge of the set of pastry sheets, leaving space around for folding. Fold over the ends and roll it away from me, letting it finish up on the seam. Then it's onto an oiled baking tray and a final brush of olive oil, again just a smear, and also sprinkle on, just for fun, a few sesame seeds. Optional, but I love them. And it's into the oven, about 190 degrees C, for around 40 to 45 minutes until the top is a lovely golden brown. Degree of difficulty? Well, low to medium. Preparation time 20 minutes plus cooking. Keepability? Well, the beauty of this dish is that it may be eaten hot or cold and keeps well in the refrigerator for a couple of days. The Consuming Passions beet pie is allowed to cool a little before being cut open to reveal all that wondrousness. The perfect wine companion, in my view, will be a fruity Chardonnay. From Consuming Passions, till next time, bon appetit.